your best choice. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
9년 전 한국에서의 새로운 출발을 위해 부산을 처음 찾은 프랭크. 부산의 자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한데에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very, very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Min-Soo Shin. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
Hello, 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 and happy Monday to you all. This is Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Happy Monday, everybody. Have you ever thought about starting your own business, becoming your own sajang? Well, Trend Korea 2024, this recent publication, this said that unmanned stores have been mentioned as the current entrepreneurship trend with high potential for the future. So we are entering this unmanned and vacant store era. It might still be unfamiliar to some. 들어가자마자 알바생 어디 있지? Right? Where's the 사장님? But the advantage lies in the freedom to choose what you want to buy without hesitation, without any 눈치. So, I don't know, is it convenient or uncomfortable? Opinions are still divided on this matter. 저는 일단 사는 게 중요해서 I don't care about who's at the store. I'm just there to buy what I want to buy.
사랑한단 말을 할 수 있을 거라 난 정말 생각했었네
멀리 또 멀리 난 너의 꿈을 싣고 멀리 또 멀리 나 한 눈물에 내게 남아있던 너를 띄워보내며 세상에 혼자 울던 나도 꿈에서 참아왔던 지금껏 숨겨왔던 저 그 웃음 묻겠다 저 하늘을 날아가 곳으로 날아가 그래서 함께 꿈을 꾸며 살 거야 하겠어 네 손을 잡고 너무 사랑했기에 너무 행복했기에 나 죽어도 너를 너무너무 사랑해 너무 사랑했기에 너무 행복했기에 나 죽어도 너를 너무너무 사랑해 Oh yeah This father in the house
And that was 태사자 with 도 to start off our show. A good throwback to some golden years of K-pop. Hello, everybody. Happy to have you joining me. This is the first hour of Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Happy Monday to you all. How was your weekends? Well, I'm pretty sure for most of you, it was a cold one, right? I think the question that I've heard and I've said myself plenty of times was, 왜 이렇게 추워, right? It was so cold over the weekend, and the coldness continues into today. So I don't know. Can we say like winter is here? Because it sure feels like it, right? It's a big change from like the couple weeks that we've had. Big change from last week as well. It was pretty chilly last week, but then we could say it's pretty cold now. I do hope you're taking care of yourself as well as your loved ones health-wise, right? You don't want to catch a cold. So I know a lot of you have, at least once thought about starting up your own business. Well, to fill you in on when it comes to the business trends of 2024, and this is according to a publication called Trend Korea 2024, with kind of gives the outlook of what we can expect in the year 2024, which is coming up pretty soon here in our country. So unmanned stores, 네, 맨리스 매장이라고 하기도 하죠. These stores are embracing the preferences of indeed the younger generation, and the younger generation are those that prefer less face-to-face interactions, right? I just want to go in, just get the stuff I want, pay for it, and just leave, right? I don't want to have a chit-chat or a talk. Well, that's what, it seems like the trend is. So, 무인 점포라고 하죠. 네. Making it quite a trend right now. However, for the middle-aged population and older, who are maybe a little less familiar with kiosks, using this 무인 점포, these unmanned stores, might feel a bit burdensome, even inconvenient, although they are set up to provide more convenience, right? The way you got to buy things and press, do touch on the screens and you put how many, right? And then you gotta add in that you want to use like a plastic bag, and then if you have discounts or coupons, you got to add, and then you got to punch in your phone number. That does take a lot of input, right? And this is something that might be very unfamiliar to the older generation. Also, our country being known for its tech as well as low rates of theft. This is why these manless stores, 무인 점포, has become a very, I guess, sought after opportunity, sought after choice when it comes to starting up a business. And a lot of amazing advancements when it comes to these unmanned shops, right? So, here in Korea, I think these unmanned stores, 무인 점포, it started off as ice cream stores, these unmanned ice cream shops. I know you've seen them around our city. There might be a couple of them in your neighborhoods. 제 동네는 보자. 한 3개 정도 있는 것 같아요. Like within like the vicinity of me walking to these stores. As well as now we have unmanned convenience stores. Now there's unmanned shops selling full meal kits, fresh meat even, 반찬. 네. 반찬 무인 점포도 있습니다. These are popping up all over Korea. So this is pretty interesting. But there are a couple issues that come with this. Although convenience, and they're open 24/7 usually, right? Although they do provide a lot of convenience, there is a couple issues. Like I said, you know, our country, low rates of theft, but with the thefts that do happen, a high number of them happen in these unmanned stores, specifically the unmanned ice cream shops. I'm sure if you've come across your neighborhood unmanned ice cream shop, you know, the owners, they go through the CCTV, right? And they go through the inventory and they see like what's missing and, you know, around this time and stuff. If they find the culprit, they print out a screenshot of who stole, excuse me, like who stole which ice cream, and then they tell you, please, you know, contact us and pay it in full, or in a couple days, you know, we'll go to the police with it or something. So that's something that owners especially have to keep in mind. But things like labor costs, right? Although there isn't any, but this also means that there's less opportunities for people to find work in these kinds of stores, right? So I guess, you know, it does make it easier for customers to get what they want when they want it without having to wait in line. I think overall, in my opinion, these unmanned stores have been just increasing the convenience of residents. So I'm curious as to what you think. Do you prefer these unmanned shops? 네, 무인 점포를 뭐 주로 많이 이용하는 편입니까? Or do you enjoy a bit of human interaction? 나는 장 보면 그 캐시 레지스터에 있는 분한테 뭐, you know, catching up도 하고, small talk도 하고, right? And sometimes, like, you know, if you live in like a small neighborhood, sometimes it's like a weekly thing where you meet certain neighbors and certain people around this time because they buy the groceries around the same time as you. So, tell me what you think of these shops. Have you come across any of them in your neighborhood? Like I said, there's like 3 ice cream unmanned stores around my neighborhood, I think, and 2 unmanned cafes my neighborhood has. 여러분은 무인 매장을 뭐 본 적이 있습니까? 뭐 가본 적 있어요? 어떤 무인 매장을 가보셨습니까? I'm really curious as to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know. pound 9050 샵 9050 will cost you 100 won. You can chat with me on our Kakao Talk, or you can let us know on our YouTube. Once again, we are live every time, all the time. Well, at least today, right? We're live on our YouTube. Come join us. Time for today's News Bites. Time for the Monday edition of News Bites. We have BFM newscaster Annie with us here in the studio. Hi, Annie.
Hello.
Hi. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah. So same question for you, Annie. Have you been to any of these unmanned stores and shops?
I've only been to the candy and ice cream ones.
Oh, they have candy ones too?
Almost all the, well, not maybe that's just an assumption. The ones in my area, the ice cream ones all have like candy. But there's one that sells like majority candy as well.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, mine sells like candies and snacks. I thought you meant like solely for candy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
A mix. It just depends on which one's more predominant.
It's usually, like you said, like the ice cream and snack stores that
Yeah.
are unmanned these days. What are your thoughts on them? Do you find them convenient?
Because they sell candy and ice cream, I do find them convenient because then
Yeah.
I can be a very large pig and not get judged.
No judging eyes there.
Yeah.
Only the cameras that are being, are running.
But I like, you know, fast food restaurants now
Yeah.
are putting in all those machines, although they
Kiosks,
do have people working there.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really necessary there. I do like the human interaction at restaurants, even if they're fast food restaurants.
What do you think it is about, especially restaurants and cafes, that people prefer like a person take their order?
Well, for me personally, it's because they're making my food. They're preparing the food. So I would like to know who they are. Like, you know, the minimalist
Sure.
amount of personal.
You want to put like a
contact.
face, right,
Yeah, like, this is for
to
me.
your cup of Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like candy or ice cream, I'm just grabbing it out and taking it.
I feel the same way, but when it comes to like restaurants and cafes, I do prefer when actual people take my order.
Right.
Because if I do it at a machine, everything's so like set. You know what I mean? Like if
no
you're talking to a
customization.
person, yeah, I mean, you could still customize at kiosks, but what if it's like, it's like 100%, 50%, or 0%, maybe in terms of sweetness or maybe in terms of ice, right?
Yeah.
But then like you want that between like 100% to like 50%, so like 75%.
I think you're being picky there.
I know I'm being a little bit 진상 I am. But then like they were like, oh sure, no problem.
Yeah, and they give you
usually,
50.
right? And well, yeah, maybe that's how it's been working so far. But I do what you mean. Some human interaction
Yeah.
does go a long way, especially when it comes to like food services.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts. Well, let's get to today's news bites. What do you got for us?
All right, first, so the government has decided to maintain the current 52-hour work week framework, but only some industries and occupations will be flexible so that they can work more when they are busy and then kind of rest when they have downtime. So the specific industries and occupations, as well as the working hours that are subject to this flexibility, will be determined later through various surveys and social dialogue. And according to the results of a national survey, there was a high demand for the easing of the limit of this up to 60 hours a week, like only for manufacturing and production workers. So the Ministry of Employment and Labor revealed the results of a face-to-face survey on working hours that was conducted on 6,030 people between the period of June to August, as well as the direction of the system reform to reflect these results. And Vice Minister of Labor Lee Seung-hee explained that they will fully accept the results of the survey and maintain the 52-hour work week while also working on improvement measures limited to some industries and occupations.
Yeah, the limit into the amount of hours a person could work has been a bit of a hot topic
Right.
these past couple of months and years here in Korea. Can you give us a brief reminder on what this was about?
All right, so it was a very hot topic a couple months ago
Yeah.
in March. The government announced a reform measure to allow the weekly working hour cap to be raised to 69 hours. But they did begin reviewing the change after strong opposition from mainly younger workers who argued that it would force them to overwork. And with this new policy direction, which comes 8 months after the first initial announcement, the government took a step back from this total flexibility to everyone and announced that they announced in March. Now they're changing it to like the flexibility of some industries and occupations that kind of need it.
Yeah, it seems like they're opening up more and more to the thought of, industries and sectors that do need
Right.
the hours put in. And I don't know if like the workers are okay with it. I think that's what's most important.
Definitely.
But it seems like they're still trying to keep the dialogue going in terms of how to set the number of hours in a work week, make it more customizable
Right.
for certain sectors and certain industries. Thank you so much for that update. What's next?
Right, medical school student quotas, I should say. So it is estimated that the universities across the nation have requested an accumulative increase of close to 4,000 students in the medical school admission quota changes. So the requests are expected to put a spring in the plans to increase the admissions quota to medical schools because universities have demanded a much larger increase than the government had initially in mind. The current medical school student quota nationwide is at 3,058, and universities have asked to increase this to nearly 7,000 for the 2030 admissions, which is coming up in just 7 years.
Yeah. Why did the government expect such a low number of requests?
Well, that was because universities, in addition to the so-called mini medical schools and local national universities with quotas less than 50 students, and medical schools in Seoul and the metropolitan areas also hope to significantly increase the number of students. So they hadn't expected the Seoul metropolitan areas to request so much. Mini medical is like a tongue twister.
Say that 5 times fast.
Many medical schools requested to increase the number of students by 2 to 3 times. And then local national universities also kind of demanded that the number of students be increased to more than twice the current level.
Yeah. So with the quota for medical school students at an increase, I don't know, this might be like a proper time, I think, for like parents and teachers out there to kind of sway your kids more in the going in the direction of medicine,
Right.
of healthcare. Because it seems like, our country, obviously the universities want them, need them. And with the shortage of medical staff, I feel like here in all of Korea, yeah, we want more doctors. We want
Even
more
for those who
professionals.
kind of like dream to be a doctor,
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared to jump into it. Maybe it's a good time to jump
Exactly,
into it.
exactly, right? Well, thank you so much for that. We have time for one more bit of news.
Right. Unfortunately, we do have to have an update on Gaza and Israel. So according to the head of the World Health Organization, or WHO, the largest hospital in Gaza has ceased to function, and so the death toll is climbing amongst patients. Hospitals in the north of the Palestinian enclave, including the Al-Shifa complex, which is the largest, are blockaded by Israeli forces and are barely able to care for those who are inside, which is actually quite a large number. And medical staff have said that there are 3 newborn dead and more are at risk from the power outages amid intense fighting nearby. So the hospital director said staff were really trying hard to keep premature babies at the hospital alive. They are wrapping them in foil from what I saw before I came in.
Goodness.
The oxygen has run out and they did have to be moved to the neonatal unit's incubators. The second largest hospital, Al-Quds in Gaza City, is also no longer operational according to the Palestine Red Crescent Society.
Now, it seems that these hospitals, right, because they're obviously lacking, when it comes to energy, and now with the facilities just being uninhabitable and unoperational, why are the hospitals being attacked so much?
Well, specifically with the Al-Shifa, it's under attack from the Israeli forces because they claim the hospital is located above the headquarters of the Hamas. So last month, the Israeli military released a video that used a combination of satellite imagery and animated graphics to claim that it had intelligence-based proof of Hamas's purported use of the hospital below ground with these like intricate tunnels, facilities, as well as meeting rooms. Hamas, of course, has rejected these claims, which it said is sheltering more than 40,000 displaced people.
Okay. So the latest in terms of just the situation over there, I know, all eyes around the world
Right.
are just on what's going on right now over there. And, a lot of people, a lot of countries do have just the thoughts of the innocent people, families, the children, even people at these hospitals in mind, maybe priority even sometimes, right? We're going to have to see how this continues to pan out. Annie, thank you so much. That will wrap it up for today's News Bites. You enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
세상엔 우리들보다 가지지 못한 어려운 친구들이 많습니다. 지금도 힘들어하고 있을 그 친구들을 위해 이 노래를 부릅니다. 힘내라 얘들아.
왜 이렇게 사는 게 힘들기만 한지 누가 인생이 아름답다고 말한 건지 태어났을 때부터 삶이 내게 준 건 끝없이 이겨내야 했던 고난들 뿐인 걸 그럴 때마다 나는 거울 속에 나에게 물어봤지 뭘 잘못했지 도대체 내가 뭘 잘못했길래 내게만 이래 달라질 것 같지 않아 내일 또 뭐래
하지만 그러면 안돼 주저앉으면 안돼 세상이 주는 대로 그저 주어진 대로 이렇게 불공평한 세상이 주는 대로 그저 받기만 하면 모든 것은 그대로 싸울 텐가 포기할 텐가 주어진 운명에 굴복하고 마찬가 세상 앞에 고개 숙이지 마라 기죽지 마라 그리고 우릴 봐라 쉬고 힘들 땐 내게 기대 언제나 네 곁에 서 있을게 혼자라는 생각이 들지 않게 내가 너의 손 잡아줄게
너무 어두워 길이 보이지 않아 내게 있는 건 성냥 하나와 촛불 하나 이 작은 촛불 하나 가지고 뭐 하나 촛불 하나 킨다고 dum이 다른 하나 저 멀리 보이는 화려한 불빛 넌 속에서 발버둥치는 나 이 몸짓 불빛이 향해서 저 빛이 향해서 날고 싶어도 날 수 없는 나의 그 짓
하지만 그렇지 않나 작은 촛불 하나 켜보면 달라지는 게 너무나도 많아 아무것도 없다고 믿었던 내 주위에 또 다른 초 하나가 놓여져 있었기에 불을 밝히는 촛불이 2개가 되고 그 불빛으로 다른 초를 쫓아고 3개가 되고 4개가 되고 어둠은 사라져가고 쉬고 힘들 땐 내게 기대 언제나 네 곁에 서 있을게
시간이 아낌없이 마침내 우리는 해냈어 그것만은 나열은 정직이었어 사실이었어 참 힘들었어 하지만 거기서 난 포기하지 않았어 꿈을 잃지 않고 용기를 잃지 않고 계속 노력하다 보니 결국 여기까지 왔고 이제 너들에게 말을 해주고 싶어 너도 할 수 있어 내게 기대 언제나 서 있을게 혼자라니 생각 들지 않게 내가 너의 손잡아줄게 내게 그대 언제나 곁에 있을게 나의 손잡아줄게
And that was G.O.D. with 촛불 하나. You are tuned into the first hour of Inside Out Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let's give you a quick update on the weather and the traffic. Well, the weather, yes, 춥습니다. It is cold. 9 degrees our city is averaging. Tomorrow, just looking at these numbers, I'm already like shivering. Tomorrow, expecting morning low of 4 degrees. 네, morning low of 4, afternoon high of 14. So I don't know. It's a very cold mid-November to me. I don't remember November of last year being this cold. Just a week ago we talked about all like autumn leaves changing into the golden colors with like the warm sun hitting them, and now we're just like right into the shivering cold temperatures, right? So it will be cold all day tomorrow. But it'll ease a bit in the afternoon. That's thanks to the sun. 내일 아침까지 부산은 추위가 이어지겠습니다. 오후에는 조금 기온이 오른다고 하네요. 그래서 여러분 단디 챙기세요. When it comes to our traffic, our city's traffic, let's see. Over on the Name Express from Daejeon Interchange going towards Mandok, there's congestion. Also on 중앙대로 from Yangjong Junction going towards Busan City Hall, congestion there. And on Hwangyongdae from Munjeon Junction going towards Hwangyong Tunnel, slow-moving traffic. Everybody, drive safe. 부탁드리겠습니다. So, according to Trend Korea 2024, a publication that gives a pretty good outlook on what we can expect to be hot or not in the year 2024, they are saying that manless stores, 무인 점포, will be a very hot entrepreneurial trend amongst just people wanting to start up their own business, right? It's not it's not like cafes or restaurants or shops anymore. I mean, they're all still there, but now they're going manless. It's all just kiosks, and everything that you would want to buy, it's all just in refrigerators, out on shelves on displays, even in, just in vending machines also. So I'm really curious as to your thoughts on the 무인 점포, manless stores here in Korea. I find them pretty convenient. Let's see, we have Toki님 on our YouTube saying, I've seen 문방구 무인 가게. So the stationary stores, 문방구 near like schools, 그런 무인 점포도 봤어요. 셀프 빨래방도 많이 봤죠. For you, they're unfamiliar but convenient. They're fast too. 유튜브에서 라면 무인 가게 봤는데 가고 싶어요. 저도 라면 무인 가게도 가봤습니다. Right? They're usually like near universities because a lot of students go there. Yeah, pretty convenient, I'd say. You buy and then you put the water in the thing, and then like it was really popular along the Han River a couple years back, and now they're just everywhere. The little machine that you could put your kind of like the ramen bowl on, and then it'll heat it up real quick, right? So yeah, very interesting trend that's happening here in Korea. So if you've been thinking about starting up your business, why not a manless store? All right, let's get to today's IOB 5분 상식. time for IOB 5분 상식. Look, we have here in the studio. Hello, Andrew.
What's going on?
Hi. Thank you so much for coming in. You'll be helping me with today's 5분 상식, as always.
Trying my best. Or you might have a self-serve here. I don't know.
You always do,
It's
though.
a manless mic today.
아니에요. manless는 오늘 아닙니다. Not with you. So today, we're going to get our listeners know and some trending, useful, need-to-know words, expressions, and ideas. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간인데요. 중국에서 유행 중인 어린이 폐렴 마이코플라스마, 네, pneumonia, Mycoplasma pneumonia 이거 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
Good afternoon, Minsu. I'm Dr. Andrew. What brings you in today? Whoa. Are you all right?
Doc, I've been coughing a lot. I think I might have Mycoplasma pneumonia.
Big words for a man like yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I see. Well, let's take a look. He보세요. Your symptoms seem more like the common cold, Minsu.
아니에요. It has to be pneumonia. I watched the news about it. It's really prevalent in China right now. I've been coughing for days, Doc.
I understand your concern, Minsu, but let's not jump to conclusions. Coughing doesn't necessarily mean pneumonia.
I don't know, Dr. Andrew. I've never had a cold that made me cough like this much.
Don't worry, Minsu. Mycoplasma pneumonia is more common in younger children. Adults usually don't get it as frequently. Minsu, you're not an infant. You're 40 or 50. Hey, get away from those
마!
instruments.
뭐라고요? 40대, 50대 아니거든요.
Maybe.
저 마음은 10대예요. 마음이 중요하잖아요. I'm in my
Stop
teens in
touching
my
those
heart.
tools. Hey, get out of my office.
Well, if they're not to touch, why do you have them there, doctor?
Well, they are for younger people, but you 40, 50, or 60-year-olds, get on out.
Why'd you put me in the range of 42, 60?
Yeah,
Right? Why?
I've seen you on multiple days and multiple occasions. Depending on the amount of caffeine,
맞아요.
it's a different Minsu.
All right, I've had some today, though. All right, so let's get down to business. Mycoplasma pneumonia, what exactly is it?
So, Mycoplasma pneumonia, often colloquially referred to as walking pneumonia, is an atypical form of pneumonia caused by the bacterium Mycoplasma pneumoniae, all right? While it typically leads to milder symptoms than typical pneumonia, because usually it's very severe, usually if you have pneumonia, right? Can still result in persistent health issues, including a cough, like yourself had in that little skit, fever, and fatigue.
Okay. Why is this being mentioned in the news a lot these days, though?
With this significant increase in pediatric Mycoplasma pneumonia cases throughout China recently, and there are indications of similar outbreaks here in South Korea. Now, health authorities are closely monitoring the situation as around 100 cases of Mycoplasma pneumonia are reported weekly among children and adolescents showing cold-like symptoms during transitional seasons.
Yeah, so this might be what's been going around a lot
Yeah,
these
for
days,
sure.
right? So I've heard like fevers, 38 degrees and higher, severe coughing, persistent coughing, right? For weeks, even up to like a month. This is something that a lot of people are saying are symptoms of Mycoplasma pneumonia. Now, is it true that it mainly occurs in infants and young children? 주로 영유아에게서 발생한다는 말이 사실입니까?
Yes, that is correct. Now, Mycoplasma pneumonia mainly affects infants and young children, so you didn't really have anything to worry about there. Although the symptoms may resemble a common cold, key features include a fever lasting over 5 days and the ineffectiveness of standard antibiotics or antipyretics. Importantly, when children with Mycoplasma infection also contract other viruses, just like anytime you're sick, really, it can worsen, leading to complications like full-blown pneumonia, lung abscesses, and bronchitis, emphasizing the need for caution. So, like, that's part of the reason why they're trying to say, like, get checked out and make sure you monitor these things, because if they contract something else, it could make it significantly worse.
맞아요. So yeah, for a lot of the parents and teachers out there, I think this is something to be cautious about. I'm not saying take every cough and sneeze and sniffle seriously, but if you do see the cough getting worse and just not going away, I think that's something
I
that
have
you should
a
be.
similar situation in my household right now, but there's no fever and
Yeah.
whatnot. So the doctor's like, it's not what you think it is.
Okay.
And we just have to kind of play the waiting game, really.
Yeah, thank goodness. But at least you still went to see a doctor,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Some people might think, oh, just it'll just be okay, but then it just
it's
gets
also
worse
the
and
season.
worse, right? Exactly. 네, 마이코플라스마 폐렴, 마이코플라스마 pneumonia, 폐렴균에 의한 급성호흡기 감염증으로 주로 영유아에게 발생합니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 괴종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래 라디오.
네가 저번 주 심참인 것 같네.
22번 훈련병!
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
Monday, Riddler.
It's Monday, time to get your thinking caps on.
There you go.
We
I got
have-
mine on.
Oh, you do. You have your thinking
I got
beanie
mine
on.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it's we would call it a toque.
A toque?
As a
I've never-
Canadian, a toque.
I've
yeah.
never heard that before.
Yeah, it's or like because people call it like a stocking cap, the long one. But in Canada, we wouldn't usually use the word beanie. A beanie would be like the one that only
Folds over?
or like it just goes around like here. It's almost like a welder's cap,
I
like
know
that
what you
kind
mean.
of thing. But yeah, so this we would call it a toque. That's like a French word, but in where I'm from, there's parts of my province that would call it. It's you say it quite fast and it'd be a toque. Like, oh, where's my toque? But it's like, where's my toque? I need my toque. So my kids actually call it a toque, which is kind of funny.
Interesting. So beanies, for me
Yeah.
is that
Exactly.
It's usually the ones that fold over, and they cover like most of your ear.
Yeah.
Like usually, that's like
Yeah.
a beanie. The ones you mentioned that kind of go like they don't cover your ear, that your ears still pop out.
Yeah.
and just, like,
They're actually
cover
kind
your scalp.
of they're a little bit popular here in Korea at the
Yeah.
moment as well.
I don't know
It's
what
like
you-
a skull cap.
Yeah, I've heard
Maybe
it. I think
that's-
I've heard
yeah,
that.
skull cap.
I've never heard those referred to as beanies. But yeah, we digress. We
Yeah.
digress.
It's all right.
Monday Riddler here in the
Yes.
studio. Hello, Andrew. How you doing, sir?
Not bad. It's the past couple of weeks on the Obun Sangshik on Mondays here, we've had I don't want to say it's been a bit of a downer, but we had bed bugs now talking about pneumonia. But but the thing is, these are important topics and also terminology that even like as a native speaker, sometimes I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
So for listeners, if you sometimes catch yourself wondering like, oh, I'll never get these things. Well, even as a native speaker, when it comes to medical terminology,
네. 네.
right over this thinking cap.
맞아요.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have to like look long and hard at some of these words and what they mean too, folks. It's not something. It's not like it's just natural to us.
And your
right?
pronunciation with the Hangul is probably better than my typical English pronunciation of these words. So.
I know.
All right.
I beg to differ.
On to some riddlers.
Yes.
On to some riddles.
And
Sorry.
folks, please help me, okay? For these past couple of weeks, I've been in need of some help because these questions definitely require some thinking outside the box.
Well, I don't know. You brought some lava water there today. I'm not sure what's in the cup today.
Lava water.
This is this thinking juice.
This is it should help me. It's vitamins and tea and stuff.
There you
in
go,
it.
people. Watch out.
But
Vince is coming through with it.
I've had my coffee today, 3 cups.
The whole kit and caboodle over there. Look at
Right.
them. All right. So We're gonna start off with a couple quick ones here. There would be 2, 3, and 4 on your list. They're kind of Thanksgiving themed because American
맞네요.
Thanksgiving is coming
Yeah.
up. So we're gonna start here at these, and they're kind of not dad jokey, but sometimes I just fall into that trap. So, who is never hungry on Thanksgiving?
This is a rhetorical question. Who is never hungry on Thanksgiving? Everybody's hungry on Thanksgiving.
Who is never hungry
Well, I know.
on Thanksgiving?
The turkey?
Ding dong dang. Why?
Oh, wait, that's the answer?
It is turkey is the answer, but why?
Because
Come on.
the turkey gobbles. No. Oh, the turkey.
Vince, you lost the opportunity.
Oh, why? Oh my gosh, I feel like I should have said it right
Because
away.
it's always stuffed.
Oh, 맞아요.
So for our listeners, if you say, you're full, like normal people you say I'm stuffed,
맞아요.
right? So there you
Turkey's
go.
always stuffed. 맞아요.
Always stuffed.
Oh, I miss stuffing.
Yeah, that is something like even when I get a rotisserie chicken, I'm like, I wonder if I could just fix this up with some stuffing as well.
Yeah, and just throw it in the oven for like,
Yeah.
10, 15 more minutes,
That'd be
right?
good.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
All right, moving
Next.
on to why can't you take a turkey to church?
Why can't you take a turkey to church?
Sounds like a classic one.
Oh, why can't you take a turkey to church? Because it's meant to be burning.
Oh, no. They use foul language because they're a fowl, as in a bird.
FOWL.
Dun-dun-dun. All right.
I would have never gotten that one. I'm glad you said the answer right
Exactly.
away. Okay.
And this one, this one here, you almost said the answer previously.
Oh, wow.
But so almost, not 100%.
Okay.
What did the turkey say to the computer?
What did the turkey say to the computer? So something about gobble, right? 'Cause
Okay,
that's what
sure.
turkeys
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
Gobble, gobble. Gobble.
Think
man.
about it as in the use of a computer.
Gobble in terms of use of the computer?
Yeah, or like how it can relate to computer, possible software.
Oh. Can you gobble this for me? No.
You're
Like
almost
instead of like
you're-
Google,
you're-
instead of Googling it, you gobble it.
You're on the right track.
Gobbling?
Google.
Ah.
Not gobble. Google.
Google.
I had to shut you down there because you're going to go way off track with
Yeah,
it.
I was.
On a rant of Minsu.
Well, these are openers.
Yes,
okay?
definitely.
Warm-ups.
All right.
Now the actual real questions.
How many? One more opener. How many of each species did Moses take on the ark with him?
정답.
Okay.
This is thanks to my many years of Sunday school
All right.
that I went to.
Got it?
Moses didn't take any of them. on the
People,
ark.
he's had his caffeine tonight. He's had his caffeine.
It was Noah.
It was Noah, yes. Moses wasn't on the ark.
All right.
Noah was. All right.
All right.
Now
4
that
out
we
of
got
1
that,
to start.
now
I
that
mean,
we
1
got-
out of 4.
the hamster is fully turning inside that,
Yes.
that pod of yours. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. I have 4 wings, but cannot fly.
Oh.
I never laugh and never cry. On the same spot, I'm always found, toiling away with little sound. What am I? Bum, ba-dum, bum.
I have 4 wings, but I cannot fly.
Yeah.
Don't laugh, don't cry.
Nope.
I'm always in the same spot.
Yep.
And I'm toiling away with little sound. So basically, you don't make any noise.
No noise. But I think that's a little misleading because there is a noise, but I think you'll understand why when the answer is revealed.
4 wings. Is
4
that,
wings.
Out of all that description, what will be like the big one, like the big description that you should give it away for
You had
somebody?
The 2 things you'd have to put together,
Yeah.
same spot and 4 wings.
Same spot and 4 wings?
Yes.
Does not help me at all.
It's used year round.
Oh,
Yes.
4 wings. It's not the White House, is it?
No. I had never thought of the wings as in that sense, but as in the wing of a building. But yeah.
So like the wings of like, let's say something that you would normally find wings on, but it
Yeah.
cannot fly.
Or they resemble wings. No. Oh, people, I love this. Minsu's doing his best toka dance
I'm trying
over
to
there. I'm not really
visualize.
sure what's going on.
Why is the coffee not kicking in today? I have 4 wings but cannot fly.
You can find these. They're not prevalent in Korea, but you can see these in certain areas, mountains, maybe on the coastline sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
on mountains and on coastlines?
And if you're a fan of the movie Sound of Music, you may have seen these throughout this movie as well.
What?
German soldiers, no.
What?
Yeah.
Not a compass.
No. It's big, massive.
Huge?
Yeah. You use a small version of this in your house probably in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got it?
What do you call them?
Oh,
They're-
people. Yes. Yes.
They're meant for like,
He knows it, but he doesn't know it.
oh, what do you call them? Like the huge fans.
Yeah, the huge fans. Yeah, there we go. Can our listeners, anybody help them out here?
Oh, what do you call them?
Anybody help them out?
Oh my gosh. To make energy.
Sure.
What do you call them?
I'll give you the first part.
Yes.
Wind.
Wind turbines?
Oh, well, I wasn't going for that, but actually that would be, I think that would be the scientific, or if you're an engineer, you might use that, but a windmill.
Oh, windmill.
Yeah. Because I don't think back in the day when they were first made, they weren't calling them a turbine.
Yeah.
Right? You know? So there you go.
Wait, okay, they have 4 cannot fly.
Yeah.
What do you mean I never laugh and never cry?
That's just to keep it going.
That
like
just
the
throws-
ride.
see,
Sure.
all that-
but I
that
told
threw me
I told you
off.
you could stay in the same spot and also the 4 wings.
All right.
Toiling away with little sound. They
That's
are a bit
hard.
noisy, but yeah.
Oh, please, just one. Let me get one.
Okay.
All right, let me get one.
I can be driven, although it doesn't have wheels. Or what can be driven, although it doesn't have wheels? Sliced, but stays whole.
Driven, but doesn't have wheels. I mean, you could drive a lot of things that doesn't have wheels, right? Like a boat. You could drive a boat.
You sail a boat.
Yeah. Sliced,
Yeah.
but stays whole.
Stays whole. Yeah.
What?
This would be, I'll give you a hint.
I'm living on hints on this segment.
This would be involved with a sport.
Oh, sliced,
These
but
are
stays whole.
some terminology that would be used in a sport. Like if we-
정답.
Oh, you got it? You got it?
Answer. 정답.
Okay.
I should have gotten this even without the hint.
All right.
Golf.
Ball.
Yeah.
A golf ball. Yes.
맞아요.
All right.
Driven, right? And
Yeah.
you could like a slice. You could
Yeah.
slice at the golf ball too, right?
Gotcha.
These are hard today, man.
Oh, well, hey, the turkey ones were good.
Yeah, they were good. They were good. I like those. But
Do we
these
have
are
time
hard.
for one more?
We got
or
time for
have-
one more.
All
Go.
right. Okay. This one here. I come in different shapes and sizes. Parts of me are curved, other parts are straight. You can put me anywhere you like, but there is only one right place for me. What am I?
Oh, parts of me are curved and other parts are straight. You could put me anywhere you like, but there's only one right place.
Yes.
Do I see this every day?
No, you may have completed these with your daughter.
Oh, 정답.
Okay.
This is something that I do with my daughter.
Yeah.
Well, the answer,
Okay.
puzzle.
Puzzle what?
Jigsaw puzzle.
A jigsaw puzzle what?
Puzzle piece.
There you go.
No,
Yes. You can see
Yeah, I
Minsu.
can be
If
that
anyone
exact.
can see Minsu's face there, he's
I
like,
can be that exact.
I know, I got this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We just recently completed a 50-piecer.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know why it took me so long,
Yeah.
because I do most of it.
Yeah, I get, I'm picking up the puzzle, looking on the bottom, like the picture.
Yeah.
Like, and the boys are like, don't drop it.
Exactly.
For goodness sake, don't drop it.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
it's like dinosaurs or something, and they're like all similar colors. And all the puzzle pieces are the same. But, oh, no.
You know, I got as a present the puzzles that's just one color.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
ever seen those?
There's a black one that's just.
I got the white one.
No thanks.
It's. I have yet to open it.
No, it can stay on the shelf.
Andrew, thank you so much. That will
Torture
do it for
device.
Monday Riddler. We'll see you back here next week, sir.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye. And that'll do it for the first hour of Inside Busan. We'll see you back here at 7. This is Kim Gonmo with 잘못된 만남.
시청역이 도보 2분의 차,
대형마트도 근처에 차,
초등학교도 안심통학권에 차,
착착착 집중 밀착.
신주거 타운의 중심에서 누리는 초집중 라이프.
시청역 해모로 센티아.
아파트 11월 오픈 예정 051-861-7952 HJ중공업.
괜찮아 괜찮아 조금 불편해도 환경을 위해 너무 괜찮아 일회용 컵 대신 머그컵 비닐봉지 대신 에코백 물티슈 대신 손수건 우리의 실천 하나하나 모여 세상을 바꿔요 깨끗한 세상 플라스틱 제로 일회용품 제로 함께해서 참 좋은 우리의 시민 불편한 너
이 캠페인은 부산환경공단이 함께합니다.
안녕하세요. 영화배우 김민재입니다. 마약 시작하면 끝입니다.
너도 시작해볼래? 정말 끝내준대.
청춘 끝.
집중이 잘 안 돼? 이거 하나면 끝나.
미래 끝.
다이어트에도 정말 끝내준대.
건강 끝.
걱정할 필요 없어. 뒤끝 전혀 없어.
젊음 끝.
끝난다 끝나. 이제 우리 끝까지 가볼까?
인생 끝. 마약 당신은 이미 그 끝을 알고 있습니다. 마약 시작이 인생 끝입니다. 공익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 인사이드 아웃 부산.
Welcome back, folks. It's 7 o'clock. That means it's time for hour number 2 of Inside of Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Let me get my face on the YouTubes, which you could log on right now. We are live. Come see all the pretty faces and handsome faces that we have here at BFM. Not particularly talking of my own. Yeah. Glad to have you joining us. Messages coming in on our YouTube. Jubro님, good evening. Jubro님 also said, 패빙아, 이번 겨울을 부탁해. 맞아요. 저도 최대한 패딩을 이렇게 안 입으려고 최대한 이렇게 미루려고 하거든요. Like, you know, that because if you wear like those padded jackets, you've accepted the fact it's winter now. I always saw padded jackets as always just a winter thing. No matter how cold it got in the fall, and no matter how cold it is still in the spring, like those padded jackets are only for winter. But the past couple days, the temperatures that we saw here in Busan and in Korea, I think I may need to start wearing mine. I think I may need to accept the fact that winter is here. Thank you so much for your message. Well, I'll get to more later on. We're going to kick things off for the second hour with On the Mic. This is the segment where we get to share the stories of the people of Busan, people like you. Let's see who we have for today.
All right, today we're going to talk to someone and find out a little bit about their life. Hi, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Nav. I've been teaching English here for 12 years.
And where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in England, UK, Birmingham, and then I moved to Canada. I was there for 10 years, and now I've been living here for 12 years, and I love Busan.
Okay, tell me some of your favorite things in Busan. I know you do so many activities such as bowling, cycling, running. Tell us a little bit about your time as a member of the bowling team.
I try to keep busy for my mental health. I find that's very important. So the bowling team, bowling is every Thursday, and it's in Gomyeonsan these days, which is near Gwangan. It's a great place that I go to. I like to stay active, and then also I've been getting. Yesterday I did a cycling activity. It was called graveling, and went up a mountain. And there's so many good communities and groups you can join. If you just do a little bit of typing on the keyboard, you can find out where they are. And currently, having a great time with Taegan.
So you do so many things, though, and you were saying you've been doing bowling in Gumyeonsan. When did you start, and how did you find out about it?
I started a long time ago, probably 10 years ago. And I found out just through word of mouth. And at that time, it was much more popular. There was a waiting list, and it was twice a week. There were so many people wanting to do it. But these days, yes, it's once a week. And I've been doing it for so long, and for a long time. And I love it. I've met some of my best friends have been doing bowling.
Is it hard to get into bowling, or do you have to prepare anything?
Go to Facebook, and Busan Bowling League, I think, is the search. And then nothing to prepare. And it's very welcoming, too. So even if you're not very good, it's a recreational league. And me personally, I like to talk some nonsense for fun. But it's very fun and welcoming. There's some great people there. Yeah, any score is welcome. It's a good chance to meet new people.
And you said you did a cycling gravel event. Tell us, how did you get into gravel biking?
I met one of my good friends, introduced me to cycling. So the past couple months, I've been on some road cycling, putting some kilometers on my bike that was gifted to me. But then another friend invited me to this event, and I went graveling.
So what is the difference between graveling and regular cycling?
I think it's called road biking, and it's just flat. And the bikes are different if you want to do well in that style. So it's flat, but then graveling is up a mountain. So you're biking up a mountain, which is what I did yesterday. And it was intense on the up and the down. The down is a little bit dangerous for me. I was a little bit scared for my life, even though I was on a beginner course. Tread well, and life shall be given.
And what area did you guys do this in?
I don't know specifically, but it was in Busan, and it was north of Nopo, and then somewhere around that region. And I was actually supposed to do 3 mountains, but we just did 2. But the area was north of Nopo.
All right. And what do you like about Busan the most? What makes you the happiest about living here in the city?
The environment. There's so many things to list off, but it's basically how it's a beach city, which I think is an ideal thing. The crime rate is very low. I have no worries about myself or preservance. And And public transportation too. Weather is very seasonal. Yes, the list can go on, to be honest with you.
And you said you do a lot of activities to keep your mental health well. Can you explain a little bit more about this and what advice you'd give to other foreigners here in Busan?
I try and surround myself with good people, and I have to keep myself in check. And if I'm doing wrong, I have to be okay with it, and then try and do good after that. But join groups, for me, it's very beneficial for me. I'm more of a people person than non-people person. So join groups. There's a lot out there. Busan has a lot to offer. So.
All right. So keeping around a lot of people keeps you mentally healthy.
For sure, good people, not just any people.
Okay. And any last words?
I love Busan for the people that are here, Korean foreigners. My name's Nav. I'm very social, so if you see me, please say hi.
You're very tall and easy to spot.
That's true. And my color of skin, the skin of my color, the color of my skin is brown. Very tall. I'm under 96 centimeters.
Hit him up.
Please.
A big thank you to our reporter Tegan, and thank you Nav, who gave a very descriptive description of himself. 190 something he mentioned, right? It's hard to not see a person that tall. But Nav, obviously enjoying his life here in Busan. He mentioned he's from the UK as well as from Canada, but has been having a pretty good time just settling down here in Busan, especially just what our city has to offer. So it looks like Nav is taking to a liking in just terms of ways to keep up with his, take good care of his mental health. And he does that with bowling. I didn't know bowling can be very, very zen for some people. Maybe it's the thought of kind of like, you have that bowling ball in your hands and you roll it, and then you visualizing yourself knocking down those pins and then actually do it. I'm sure it creates this big sense of satisfaction, right, within yourself. So, yeah, I could see bowling being just very calming, just being very zen, like I said. So now you picked a very effective way to keep up with your mental health. Good job. But not just that. Obviously, he's enjoying every other aspect of our city. Also, his recent adventure doing a gravel cycling event. Very active person. I feel like you picked a good city to settle down in and partake in all those things. Because with so much our city has to offer, not only when it comes to our bowling alleys, right? But just with the surfing, the waves and the mountains and the trails. What's there not to like about our city, especially if you're an active person just like Nav. Thank you so much for sharing with us a little bit about your life. Best of luck to you. Big thank you to our reporter Tegan. That will do it for today's On the Mic. Let's take a quick song break. We'll be back with more show. This is Carly Simon with You're So Vain. Son of a gun.
Scarlet was apricot. You had one eye in the mirror as you watched yourself carve out. And all the girls dreamed that they'd be your partner. They'd be your partner. And you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. When I was still quite naive, when you said walks by, or the wife of a close friend, wife of a close friend, and you're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so vain. I bet you think the song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you? You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so
Carly Simon with You're So Vain. The time is now 7:13 here in the studio. Welcome to our number 2, número dos of Inside Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Good evening to you all. Let's see how cold it is outside. Currently, Busan City averaging 8 degrees. 계속 추워지고 있네요. Tomorrow, expecting morning low of 4 and afternoon high of 14. Okay, big difference, but I do want you to know that especially the early morning and the late night hours, it's going to be tough from here on out, it seems like, right? It's a bit cold, on the colder side compared to, this is just my opinion, I don't have the actual numbers in front of me to compare, but I think it's a bit too cold for mid-November, no? 11월 중순쯤에 이게 따지고 좀 너무 추운 것 같아요, 제 생각엔. Especially like compared to last year. I don't remember it being this cold so early into the month. So yeah, that's the situation right now. It's going to be cold all day tomorrow, but it'll ease up in the afternoon. We do have that, warm break thanks to the sun, but strong winds tomorrow. Quite dry. So everybody, drink a lot of water, take out the humidifiers if you have to. Ours is on full blast at home. Our room does get kind of dry. That's why a lot of coughing, a lot of sniffles while we sleep. 내일도 춥고 찬바람도 강하게 불겠습니다. 그래서 여러분 단디 챙기세요. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on 낙동남로 from the 하구원 다리 going towards 하단 Junction. And then we have congestion on 충렬대로 from 만덕 Tunnel number 2 going towards 내성 Junction. And then we have slow-moving traffic on 대교로 from 부산대교 going towards 봉래 Junction. Everybody drive safe. 네, 안전 운전 부탁드리겠습니다. All right, so the trend, I guess when it comes to business trends of 2024, according to Trend Korea, will be unmanned stores, manless stores, 무인 점포, for just everybody that might be interested in starting a business. Why not go for these stores, right? You don't actually have to be in them. That's like the good part. So you've seen them around your neighborhood popping up here and there, a bunch of them. These manless ice cream shops, snack shops, 반찬 shops and stores. You could even buy 고기. Some have vending machines that have fresh meat in them that get changed on a daily basis. There's unmanned, even ramen shops too, right? So basically, if you could think of stuff to sell, there's probably a unmanned shop of it. So I don't know, have you seen any? Have you gone into any of these stores? They do provide a lot of convenience for its customers, but then there's also the downsides of them. Okay, so here are my thoughts on these unmanned stores here in Korea. So basically, you could kind of go around these stores in stealth mode. You don't have to 눈치 봐 to any of the staff there, any other customers. Because nobody's going to judge the very odd combination of your midnight snacks. 네, 저도 가끔씩 이게 보통 24시간이잖아요. 이런 가게들이. 그래서 저는 사람들 안 갈 때, right? Nobody's going to judge me when I buy 15 ice cream cones, right? And 5 bags of chips, right? Because there's nobody there to take my card or when I cash out. So there's that plus. And who needs human interaction right? When you can have the cold, unjudging gaze of surveillance cameras, right? So although there's nobody in the shops, there's still cameras on. That's why when you pass by some of these unmanned stores, they have people, like the store owners, print out pictures of, thievery that does happen in the stores. And I don't know what like the laws or the policies are when it comes to just putting, people's faces, printing them out and just putting out for like the public to show. But I guess because they did partake in, stealing of certain things in the stores, they let them know, hey, we have you on camera, either pay or we hand this over to like the authorities. And then the one downside, the big downside actually, that a lot of people have pointed out of these unmanned stores is the kiosks, AI cashiers, as some people refer to them as. So one good thing is no chatty cashiers. I know some people, like if you're like, if you have MBTI, sometimes it's like, it's difficult to go to like a huge supermarket and then not a huge one, but maybe your neighborhood one. And usually I love the fact that cashiers in your neighborhood supermarkets are very friendly. They want to get to know you. But then I know some people have a hard time because, communicating and having a conversation when you're there just only to shop, right? A lot of people do go because although you might be a talker, you do enjoy conversations, but sometimes you just want to buy your stuff and get out, right? But then there is the other side of it. The flip side is you're just punching into the screens what you're buying. There's no human interaction just at all at these stores. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good, a lot of convenience that are brought about with these stores, but also just the downsides. I'm also thinking about the people who might be even out of jobs because of these types of stores, right? So what are your thoughts on them? I'm curious as to just what kind of stores are around your neighborhood, your area, which kind of stores that you usually go to. Let's ask our Monday second hour guest who is patiently waiting for her segment to start. Hello, Bonnie.
Hi.
Hi. Have you seen these unmanned stores?
Yes, a lot.
A lot?
A lot.
Yeah. What kind of stores have you?
Mostly like the ice cream ones.
Yeah, there's a bunch of the ice cream ones.
Yeah, I haven't seen so many of the ramen ones, but a lot of the ice cream ones, snack shops.
Yeah.
I think those are popping up everywhere.
Yeah. So the reason why I like the unmanned ice cream shops is they have some of the like freshest ice creams. I'm not saying you go to your like BR31s, right? Not that fresh.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you buy especially like the cone ice cream, like at a convenience store, like it's been there for a while, and when you like open and start like biting into it, like the cone's all soggy.
Yeah.
I've never had a soggy coned ice cream that I've bought from the manless ice cream shops. It's because that's the only thing they sell. So like the 회전율, like the turnover rate is going to be good. So they're always going to have like new products, new ice cream in. So that's actually one of the main reasons I do prefer the manless ice cream shops.
How many have you gone to? You tried a lot out? What is the pool here that we're talking about?
You mean today or this week or this month?
Hey, the day isn't over yet.
Haven't gone today yet, right? But I am here with my daughter, and she does also, I don't want to blame her, but she one of the main reasons that we end up going. But I do go there. Not quite often, but every once in a while by myself.
Yeah,
right?
they are convenient. I would say like late night, if you're driving home and you just want a sweet treat.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty convenient for that.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think the whole switching to no cashiers is a little, I don't like it.
So are you also, in need of that human interaction when you buy stuff?
Yeah, I think it's kind of sad that we're all going to switch over. Like banks.
Yeah.
My bank switched over a long, long time ago to a kiosk, and I hated it. And like, there's always a problem though with the kiosk. So then someone would have to come out from the back anyways to help with the kiosk, and then it would take longer. So I always fought them on it. Like, can we just do this the old-fashioned way.
Can you go back on your business model?
Yeah,
and,
right. Can I just hand you the cash? You put it in. Come on.
And this is stuff a lot of people do bring up.
Yeah.
Just the positives and negatives about running this kinds of business. But Trend Korea has said that this is like the way to go in terms of people out there that might be thinking about starting up their own business. Go manless.
Oh, I wonder what else can go manless. Like
Yeah, that's
clothing
what I'm thinking.
stores and like what else is gonna?
See, I don't think I've seen a clothing store yet, but I imagine. I mean, I can imagine people, maybe not so much like dresses and like really fancy clothes, but things like underwear, socks, right? Even like maybe like an Oxford shirt I'm wearing. If you know like the size, why not put them in vending machines? You know what I mean? I see that working.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. They have these 무인 정보 like 반찬 shops, that are manless. What else have I seen? Like I mentioned the ramen shops. There's basically like you could kind of go wild. With the ideas for these kinds of shops.
I just think you have Daiso, so I just feel like that's the only place that people really go. If you need to buy something, I feel like everyone goes there.
Yeah, I mean, but they have like kiosks, those kinds of stores too. So it might get to a point where I don't know, like workers just come in, maybe just a couple times in the day and just fill in the shelves, right? And everything, just people, like, when's the last time you've asked where something is or ask for something at those kinds of stores? Probably not like often. Like you go there because just everything's there. It's more of like searching.
Often.
Oh, you do? Or you're one of those?
I'm like, I'm not a searcher. I have no shame in asking. As soon as I walk in, I know what I need.
Please,
I ask.
can you just put it in my hand so I could just purchase it and get out of here?
But it's cool because they always know. Like every cashier, even at grocery stores, I always thought it was so interesting. They know everything. Like you could be like, where's this brand of this detergent? And they know exactly which aisle. And I always was like, wow, that's so impressive.
They have those like in American football, quarterbacks, they have all the plays on their sleeves. They have like a map.
You think?
Of like the store. No, but obviously, a lot of studying of the layout of the store.
I mean, you could ask a grocery store like worker where anything is, and they will know what aisle.
I have noticed that. Yeah, it's more. It's something that's you find it more often here in Korea. I feel like, and the stores are like on the bigger side too.
Yeah.
So I guess it's plus and minuses of these unmanned stores, but we're going to see more and more of them from here on out. And it's like very low kind of barrier for a lot of people that do want to start owning their own business.
Yeah.
You don't have to find employees.
True.
All you got to do is just find like an open space, and put whatever. Refrigerators, vending machines, and then you just got to come by every now and then to refill or restock.
Yeah.
We have HK Neem saying, I visited unmanned ice cream shops and convenience stores. Still, it was not that familiar to me. Yeah, it's still on I think just, you don't find it as much. Ice cream shops, you see them everywhere, but like other than ice cream shops, I think it's still like, you still have to kind of process, can I just, I don't even have to ask for just take it. Just pay for it on the kiosk and I just leave, right? Without anybody saying hi or bye to me.
Yeah.
It is kind of awkward. So it's just something that we're going to have to get used to. That's the way of the world these days. Thank you so much for all your thoughts, Bonnie. Thank you so much for sharing as well. Let's get to your segment. Why not?
Yes.
Right? That's time for Me Time.
Woohoo.
Me Time with Bonnie here in the studio. Hi, Bonnie.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to have you here once again.
Thank you. Good to be back.
How are you handling just how cold it is outside?
I'm transitioning.
Yeah.
My disappointment and frustration is now I'm trying to have a different mindset about it. So I'm like, okay, you get to wear all these clothes you haven't worn in a long time, get the mittens out and the scarves out. There's just a lot more things to think about before leaving the house.
Yeah.
Like, do I have a jacket for later? Am I gonna need a scarf? Should I bring a beanie or a hat? So it's transition.
So
transition
being from the Bay Area, because it doesn't get too cold in California. how cold did it get in Monterey?
I mean, I would say pretty cold, but not compared to here.
Okay.
Like right now would probably be the coldest it ever is.
Really?
In Monterey, yeah.
Oh, because see, even like as cold as it would get, like me in like the San Francisco area, like the coldest, I would still be okay. Maybe wearing like a jacket on top, but I found myself wearing shorts a lot on the bottom.
Yeah, I wear sandals like all year round, so.
And my wife thinks that's so weird, but this is like, But then here in Korea, I've never gotten used to just the cold it got, because it's like right now it's the coldest it would get in California.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah, you never need like the long padding. I
Exactly.
always thought those kind of looked ridiculous when I first moved here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, those are huge. How do people even have room for those in the apartment?
I've only seen like athletes wear them. Like Winter Olympics, like swimmers.
Yeah.
I mean, are they on a team or something? But everybody's wearing them. So
yeah,
I was like,
that's a little dramatic, don't you think? And now I get it. Now I understand.
And then, like, you get through like a Korean winter. It was like, I need one of those, right?
Yeah, I wish they were longer. I wish it was like a full, like just the feet poke out.
Oh, like covered like the bottom of your shoes.
Yeah, and my face. Like I would like a face shield as well.
Just stay home, buddy. Just stay home, right?
That's
All
true.
right. Time for me time today. What do you got for us?
Okay, so today it's an interesting topic. We're going to be talking about willpower, practicing willpower, strengthening willpower, because this is actually something you can work on and practice for yourself. And if you think about it, we actually practice willpower every day, multiple times in the day. So as adults, it's, I feel like we have more temptation, but we have to practice willpower more because we're adults.
Yeah.
So if you're a kid, like if you gave your daughter $50, and told her not to spend it, but put her in a store with all of her favorite toys, it'd be pretty hard for her to do, right? Like, and if you said spend it, she'd probably spend all of it instead of thinking like, oh, maybe I'll save a little bit for later or whatnot. But as an adult, we have so many other things to think about.
Yeah.
Every day is kind of like, oh, we have to practice that willpower of, it could be money or it could be eating. It could be lavish expenditures like a facial or a day at the spa
Oh,
or
that sounds nice.
a nice, going to a really nice restaurant, as opposed to 편의점 dinner. So we practice willpower a lot, but this is something that kind of percolates into the other parts of our lives. So if you want long-term goals, work goals or life goals, so the more you practice your willpower, self-control in the little things, that actually helps you strengthen that skill for other bigger things as well.
Yeah.
So adults, what do you think is the hardest for you to resist?
Getting out of bed. I mean, I'm not resisting getting. Actually, no, I am resisting getting out of bed, but I feel like it's the willpower kicking in that allows me to get out of bed.
That makes you do it. Yeah. So
every
as
morning.
kids, right? Your parents, or my mom at least, would force me out of bed, right? It would be like 3 or 4 times where she would come and have to actually pull me out.
Yeah.
But as adults, we have to practice that willpower of staying in bed and actually getting up and getting the day started. So the thing is, it is infinite. So there were a couple different thoughts on the theories on this, on that we have like a finite amount of willpower.
Yeah.
So if you use up all your willpower on one thing, it'll be harder for you to continue doing it for something else.
Resist on something else, or maybe on that same thing, but maybe like sometime down the road.
Yeah, like especially for people that are trying to quit something like quitting smoking or quitting alcohol, just quitting sweets, like something that you really want to do.
Yeah.
But actually new studies have shown that it's actually infinite. So it's that prefrontal cortex part of our brain that helps us make decisions. And that can continuously be working, continuously be strengthened.
Okay.
So it's not something finite. We can actually have like infinite willpower, and we can continue to work on it.
Because see, I was going to blame it on that for me not being able to say.
I'm just getting out of bed.
Right.
The first thing in the day. No, sorry, Minsu. No excuses. So it's really important to keep our goals, to stay motivated throughout life. So I said it can be as simple as maybe just trying to keep a schedule, like going to the gym or eating healthy. Right? I think a lot of people struggle with this a lot. Like, oh, I really want to get the sweet frappuccino, but I know that I shouldn't because it's not good for me, the sugar high or whatever it might be. So I should get this. But as adults, we have the power to say and do kind of what we want more often.
Yeah.
So we have to practice this a lot more. And this will help for long-term goals like work or personal life things or career goals. Like, even maybe like a long-term goal of I really want to be living in a different country one day, right? So really big dreams even. This will help you kind of achieve those things later on instead of always having them in the far distance. So the ways that willpower will help us, like I said, resisting short-term temptations and delaying that gratification to achieve the long-term goals.
Yeah, so willpower, it's like a two-track thing. Where one, it helps you resist those temptations, and two, at the same time, it helps you towards like a goal that you have.
Something bigger maybe.
Yeah.
Because we have to battle with this all the time. It might be instant gratification. Actually, this nowadays a lot of people are battling with because our brains are stimulated so much with phones, technology. So we want instant gratification. Like we look at our phone and we want some sort of entertainment. Fast now. And if something is boring, we have the power to swipe.
Yes.
Go to the next thing. Go to the next thing. Even on YouTube, Netflix, if you don't like something, you can just exit out. Whereas back in the day, if you're watching TV and you didn't like the commercial, but you liked the show, you had to wait. You couldn't fast forward. You couldn't skip. So we had to practice that patience
click and drag,
a little bit.
Right?
Yeah. But now we can, you know, so that's the thing. Instant gratification. We're used to it. But this can interfere with long-term goals sometimes because we want that instant gratification now. We would rather get, you know, the 100% on our tests now and take really easy tests rather than study for the really, really hard test that's going to get us further though, but we might fail at it. So this also helps, willpower also helps us override unwanted thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. So whenever you have a negative thought, it helps you to kind of switch out of that mode and have that willpower not to get down on yourself and just kind of move on instead of continuing, oh, I failed on that test. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I answer that? I should have done this. I should have done that. So willpower helps us kind of bulldoze through that.
The willpower is what helps us get through that then. Okay.
Helps you practicing it. And then also helps you to respond calmly to a situation instead of having an aggressive or overly emotional response. So it kind of helps you hold back because sometimes you get really riled up over something. And maybe it's someone you know, a friend or family member. Maybe it's a stranger. Like you're driving and somebody cuts you off. Your immediate reaction might be like, I want to honk at them or yell at them or give them a dirty look. But that's our willpower has to kick in to be like, no, step back. Like, how can we be reasonable about this? Will it really help? So that's actually your willpower also helping you to deal with that.
Yeah, willpower, it's something that before our segment today, I always thought it was something that just helps me with temptations, right? But when you look at it, that's like just one part of it. But also it's something that's going to help you, like you said, get to these goals. Any negative feelings and thoughts that you might have, getting out of that, maybe even a slump even, right, that you might be experiencing.
Oh, definitely.
Depression. I guess willpower is something that kind of like, you know, kind of is like pushing you
past the negative thoughts because it's easy to just stay in what's habitual and like even food cravings and stuff. Like, that's all stuff that's just instant. You're used to it. But the willpower is what's going to help you push past it and make it easier. The more you practice it, the easier it actually gets.
So willpower, very important, I feel like, especially for adults, as, you know, sometimes like you mentioned like choices that we have, but a lot of these choices sometimes when it comes to work, career, family, like we just got to do it, right? But sometimes because of the lack of willpower, we don't maybe perform as much as we need to or want to, right?
Exactly.
So how should we go about increasing our willpower?
Yes, so this is something we can all work on. So first off, we can strengthen our mind. So this is as simple as practicing mindfulness, a little simple meditation. This helps us to focus on the intentions of our actions instead of just going for the instant gratification like we were talking about. So things that are habits. So practicing just strengthening the mindset and Of course, getting enough sleep. This also helps with everything. Sleep is so important. We know this through and through. Also, keeping a calendar or keeping track of whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish. So this is going to keep you on track, and it's going to help you to manage all the things that you have to do. So maybe instead of that big dream that you have, instead of having that as your main focus, break it down into steps that are more manageable and put those in your calendar.
Sure.
So I'm just going to say diet because this is easy to think about, but like if your goal is to lose 20 pounds, instead of that, lose 20 pounds, you break it down into like, okay, next Tuesday, Thursdays, I'm going to the gym. Write that in. I'm going to meal prep on Monday. I'm going to grocery shop on Friday. I'm going to get this as my produce. So break it down into actionable steps instead of this one huge dream in the faraway future somewhere.
So
This is
maybe
going to
not
help you.
15 ice cream cones today.
Maybe there's 13.
Just 13.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
I like that.
You don't have to go from 15 to 0.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Ice
Thank
cream's
you.
important.
Yeah.
Also, help to boost the willpower, challenge yourself. So put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, something out of your comfort zone. So we talk about this kind of a lot on Me Time as adults. We have that choice, right? To be in uncomfortable situations or not. So doing this continuously, putting yourself in situations where you're not really that comfortable, this will boost your self-control and your willpower because you're less likely to avoid things just because you don't feel 100% comfortable doing them. So it's going to be able to push your comfort zone to like a higher threshold. So this is going to maybe give you more opportunities to do things, or maybe something seems a little scary to you, like that big goal that you have in mind. But if you keep putting yourself little by little in situations or places or with people that's not your normal, then that's going to get you used to that feeling, and it's going to give you more self-confidence. It's going to give you more motivation to keep doing those kind of things.
Yeah. So, like, I could tell myself, you know what? 13 cones is okay. I know it's a big change from 15, but 13's okay too. Yeah.
Or maybe switch ice cream to something else. Get out of your comfort zone. Find a new
Bonnie, baby
sweet
steps,
treat.
please. Baby steps. Okay.
We'll work
that's
on
too
this.
much.
We'll work
Okay.
on this. Also, it's really important to practice self-compassion in this also. So if you do have a setback, if you do make a mistake, it's totally okay. It's part of the process. This whole willpower thing, it's like a muscle. It's not going to be an overnight switch. It's something that we keep having to develop, keep having to work on, keep practicing. So it's not something that all of a sudden you're going to have like amazing self-control over everything. But what I'm saying is like little baby steps, like we're talking about 15 to 13 ice cream cones. It's you start with those, and then those will kind of snowball into a new mindset, new way of living that's going to be able to put you in positions that you have a higher chance of achieving goals, whatever you have for yourself, or maybe even family or career, finance. Finances, actually, that's a lot of times adults struggle with finances in this way.
For sure.
So willpower will help with that also, because you're having to decide, is something worth spending that much money on? Or are there other things that I can do to make more money? Or is there something else that I can purchase that's going to give me the same gratification, but is less money?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like the fact that you could see willpower as a muscle that you need to continue to develop. Because a lot of people think, you try and you try, and that one time you fail, I guess I'm just a failure.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just going to go back to 15 cones.
Yeah.
But don't see that mistake as just something that is a total failure, right?
Yeah.
Don't start from scratch, obviously, like start from the beginning. Just kind of pick up where you left off.
Slowly.
Slowly. I think that's the most important thing.
It's an interesting practice because I think we don't really think of willpower that much in our daily lives, but really we practice it every day on so many different occasions. And it really is a skill that you have to develop, like I said, with addiction. When people have addiction, you really have to work to get over that. But that's like your willpower that's working. So even though it's not a huge thing like overcoming an addiction, but still it can be the same skill set can be used for so many things in your life. So just changing things about yourself just to become a more positive, healthier you. Willpower. We gotta use it.
Yeah. And listeners, I don't eat 15 ice cream cones at once. Okay, just to just to let you know. It's over the period of 3 days. Just kidding. I don't like 15 ice cream. 15 ice cream. Like I would like, eat one. I'm always down to like try, and they put like different like ice cream flavors in the store sometimes. And when it's a new flavor, I have to try it once.
In this way, I will say I'm like an advocate for eat what you want. Like that's if it's gonna make you happy, I think that's of course what you should do.
Yeah.
But if in the long term, if you're like, oh my gosh, I have like, I don't know, if you're trying to get healthier and you're trying to move more and you're trying to exercise every day, but then you're also having well, I don't know, it depends. It's your thing. If it makes you happy, then I say go for it.
Yeah.
But that's also, you have to balance it out.
Oh, yeah, for
it's
sure.
that short-term gratification.
Yeah.
Is it going to come back to you in the end, like bite you in the, later on when you're trying to achieve something greater? Like, I'm not able to achieve this because I keep doing this little thing that keeps me happy a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's that willpower part.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but I really want to fit into this dress for this wedding or something, So it's like that long term. But I always do think you should eat the ice cream.
Yes.
It's a bad example because
always eat the ice cream.
Yeah, I'll never say no to that. So it's a bad example.
But I think, like you mentioned, your happiness is what's most important. But you always have to keep in mind, like that future goal that you have, like at the end, that's also going to bring you happiness, right? You maybe even more happiness than that, that temporary happiness that you might feel with that ice cream cone.
Yeah.
So if you have that in mind, maybe that's when willpower kicks in a little more and say, like, let's go for that.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So it's definitely something that I think everybody could benefit from. And it's something that I think is kind of fun. Say it as like a challenge for yourself.
Yeah.
So as adults, we never get to do this. So even like fasting, like try and fast for even one day, just one day. Challenge yourself. See if you can do it. And then once you accomplish something, it will make you that much more confident and boost your self-confidence, motivation, determination for other big things too. So it's a really great self-practice to do.
I mean, I did this. Why not this?
Yeah.
Right? Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Bonnie, today covering willpower for me time. Thank you so much. You have yourself a good rest of your Monday
Thank you.
and the
You
week.
too.
See you back here next week, okay?
Bye, guys.
All right, folks, let's take a quick song break. This is The Cranberries with Linger.
told you I was really you. I just wanna be with you. And I'm in so deep. You know I'm such a fool for you. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? I'm in so deep. You know I'm such a fool for you. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? You know I'm such a fool for you. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 Rider Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in 거제동 and 연산동, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
All right, listeners, it is time for the last segment of our show as we slowly wrap up. Time for quote unquote. And I want to kind of add to what Bonnie shared with us, right? Bonnie talks about willpower. And willpower, it's a means of kind of getting to the goals that you have, whether it be, losing weight, being healthier, goals that you have in work, in family and friends. So to add to that, I bring a quote by John C. Maxwell. And this quote emphasizes the importance of prioritizing and making choices that align with your best interest and goals. So his quote reads, "Learn to say no to the good, so you can say yes to the best. I like this. This can, this really speaks to me because, I say yes to pretty much everything, right? But you gotta learn to sometimes say no so that you could be set up for the best. I'm not saying it's another best choice that comes later, but best as in the best that you think is the best. I know that sounds a little confusing, but I guess to add to this, right? So things that maybe you could kind of apply this to your daily life. When it comes to your time, our time is limited. So saying no to less important tasks allows us to focus on what truly matters. And this improves productivity and satisfaction, right? And then there's also personal boundaries. So saying no, right, teaches us a value of setting and respecting personal boundaries. 나는 소중하니까, right? So this leads to healthier relationships and also better mental health overall. People start to kind of understand you, learn about you, know about you. Oh, these are things that Minsu likes and dislikes, right? Instead of him just saying yes to everything, which is something that I should keep in mind myself. And lastly, quality over quantity. I think by choosing fewer higher quality commitments or activities, for instance, for me, like ice cream cones, right? We can invest more energy and passion just into better things that could come about in our lives. Like I said, I offer ice cream cones, but then let's say I set losing, weight or being a healthier me in the future. If that's my main goal, I choose to, rather than choosing just instant gratification now, I want something that's going to last me forever, and that's down the road. So quality is something that you should definitely be in the lookout for when you do start making choices. So learning to say no, it's a powerful tool for navigating just the demands of our daily lives, of our modern lives. It allows us to focus on what really matters and what really fulfills us. So that's the one lesson that I do hope that you could take not only from our me time, but just our show for today. And that will do it for the show for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me these past 2 hours. Our last track, this one's by The Weeknd, Out of Time, because I am out of time. Inside Out Busan was written by Im Soo-jin and it was hosted and produced by yours truly, Min Soo-shin. Folks, have a good one.
The last few months I've been working on me, baby. There's so much trauma in my life. I've been so cold to the ones who love me, baby. I look back now and I realize. Now, remember when I held you? You begged me with your drowning eyes to stay. Now, regret I didn't tell you. Now I can't keep you from loving him. You made up your mind. Say I love you, girl, but I'm out of time. Say I'm there for you, but I'm out of time. Say that I'm here for you, but I'm out of time. Said I'm too late to make you mine. Out of time. If you mess up just a little, baby, you know my line. If you don't trust him a little, then come right back, girl, come right back. Give me one chance, just a little. Baby, I'll treat you right. And I love you like I should have loved you all the time. Now, remember when I held you. You begged me with your drowning eyes to stay. Regret I didn't tell you. Now I can't keep you from loving him. You made up your mind. Say I love you, girl, but I'm out of time. Say I'm there for you, but
부산의 축제 어디까지 즐겨보셨나요? 과거와 현재, 미래가 공존하는 항구 도시 부산. 이곳 부산은 계절을 물들이는 다양한 축제로 늘 풍성합니다. 봄의 시작을 알리는 봄꽃 축제부터 부산의 여름을 만끽하는